Hey everyone, this is Chris the Enforcer Vasquez, and you're listening to Comic Clowns Podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Gab Radio Network, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, Twitch TV, and various other podcast streaming programs. And don't forget to submit your ideas for Enforcers Edibles. And as always, Hail Hydra!
Are you ready? You think you can tell us what to do? You think you can tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready. Bow to the masters. Break it down!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Comic Clowns Podcast. Bruce Warchief Hoover.
Mark the Dwarf Kokiacha.
Chris the Enforcer Vasquez.
Kyle Darth Cooch Cookenberger. And Nick the Miniman Clark.
And like welcome you guys to your one-stop shop for everything nerdy, comic books, movies, video games, you name it, we talk it. You guys have a topic you want to hear us talk about? Sure, we're game. We've already had Nick go on Tumblr rants and everything else. Sure, anything's free game these days.
Mild trigger.
A mild trigger.
Mild trigger.
Yeah, mild trigger.
Mild.
Mild my
just
arse.
mild? All right. How's everyone doing today? Everyone having a great one? We just got done recording our last week our segment about Death Note, so everyone's like, you know, the red in the face is slowly fading, which makes me happy.
Apparently, I was gonna say everybody's telling me that I have anger issues that I need to address.
Just pet his head, goose.
Good dwarf. Stroke
Just
the beard
rub your
a little.
It's not even like you need to address them. You just start snapping. Like I played Magic with you before, and like after like your second deck didn't hit, I'm like, do you want to keep playing? Yes, I want to play. All right, Mark, we need to. Okay, I'll play it one more time. Okay.
I can't help that I have the fiery passion of my dwarven ancestors raging through me.
I mean, the anger usually builds up from the feet up. Yours just doesn't have that far to go.
That's true.
All right, there was the short fuse short joke. Okay, I said the last one wasn't. This one was. All right.
Alrighty.
Everybody gets one.
I am indebted for the next couple of years. Yeah, we talked about Death Note last time. We told it how it was a bad anime adaptation, how it was a bad, just a bad film in general because of the, to me, the leeways and everything else that like it just didn't have what we needed it to make it a good film.
Yeah.
How it would have been a great just sequel, which would have made a lot more sense in my world. Still wouldn't have made it great. It would have made it bearable.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about the upcoming FMA, how we're going to go watch Brotherhood. Now we want to talk about, since we're on like this kick for adaptations, let's talk about something that came out recently on Amazon Prime. Me and Chris, a couple months, like last year, we watched the pilot for this because I was on Amazon Prime and it popped up, and I'm like, Chris, there's a freaking pilot. They're bringing back the Tick, and there's a pilot episode. And I've been waiting for this to come out for a long time now. The Tick on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, there's no reason for you not to go watch this right now. In my world, it's in the world of DC grittiness and Marvel being too full of themselves. Amazon Prime's hitting gold with Tick because they did the pilot a long time ago, and they brought up the in the second episode, like they updated the costumes, they got more material, they got more budget. Like he even like Arthur in one of the scenes looks at him and goes, "You look different." Like they make wave of that, which is great to me that they did that. And if you don't know anything about the Tick, which most people usually wouldn't, he had a comic book, a cartoon, a live action, and now a second live action.
Yes.
But live action, when he first came out, live action like comics weren't really a huge thing. You didn't find them very often. Live action,
with the exception of Batman, I don't think there really was.
It was poor timing.
It was bad timing. But now Amazon's going to capitalize on that.
Well, let's be fair. It was also on Fox.
It was on Fox.
But it was good on Fox.
But it was good on Fox.
Canceled for like 2 seasons.
Good, but again, it was very.
It made it farther than Firefly.
It was
Dude,
Trigger.
no, that's some Reaver level shit.
I mean, for it to last 2 seasons, excellent, but it was poorly timed for for the generation. It just wasn't ready.
It really was a leaf on the wind.
See, but I would argue that it was in the time of Seinfeld, and this has very Seinfeld-like comedy.
Oh yeah, of course. I agree.
I think the style or the way the show was written worked perfectly for the time.
No, the time period
I
was
just don't
fine. It
think-
was
No,
people
it's
weren't
Fox.
ready.
It was-
People-
it's
It was Fox, and Fox screws up their schedules.
I think if they would have been on a different channel, it could have gone and fleshed out longer. But
again,
with it being Fox and
like
they
Bruce
cancel
said,
everything.
but like Bruce said, people might not have really been into it as much because
You know, think about it. Comics back then were very. You weren't like an intellectual to watch them or read them. You were actually thought of lower when you were like reading them and talking them. Like it was in that time period where comics weren't as widely. People weren't running around with a back in the day T-shirt on, like a League of Legends, a Goku. Like we didn't wear. We wore these still, but like you were looked down upon. Now it's like you walk down the street wearing something like that. Like we went and saw a movie and got stopped like how many times because of a Goku shirt. Like it was awesome, but. Now it's like the new wave, which as much as I don't like it, and we've complained about it before with certain people becoming the new mainstream thing, it does. I did bring up the point that I enjoy that it allows for some things good to come out. And right now, Tick is definitely one of them.
I didn't even know Tick had a comic. I thought they really just went from the Saturday morning cartoon and like, we're going to get Patrick Warburton to dress up in a blue suit and be the Tick. Okay, that
Or,
works.
that's his Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw darts at a dartboard. Oh, I guess we're making a live-action Tick.
I'll be back after I record Venture Brothers.
But the
Yeah.
live action Tick is now starring Peter.
Yeah.
Sarah Finowitz.
Sarah Finowitz, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He's had a couple different roles that people would recognize him, that they wouldn't recognize him. He was one of the Nova Cops that was next to John C. Reilly in Guardians of the Galaxy. And he had my favorite role next to the dog in John Wick 2, which was the Saucier. Sommelier, excuse me. Thank you.
Saucier.
Thank you. My bad. Wrong person. Wrong
Completely
person.
different role in the kitchen.
Yeah, completely different thing. My bad. Sommelier in the back where he was giving John Wick his guns, and it was that scene right there, just with those two, was just. If you've never watched John Wick 2, just watch it for that scene. It was freaking magical.
Nice.
Because the way he was talking, and he's like, "What about dessert?" Desserts. And literally, I'm just like, God, I freaking love this guy because he's talking to me. He's like, "I need something bold, robust." Bold, robust. And he has like this look on his face, like but it pulls out a shotgun and talks about it and like describes it like it's fine wine. And now you're listening to him in Tick. Destiny's calling. It's a collect call. Accept the charges. It's like, oh, I freaking love this guy. It's so good. Like,
Arthur, did you kill all these men? No. Good God, no. Oh, thank God. I thought we were going to have the talk.
it was, and the best part about it is like, I only got to episode 2. I'll admit that I screwed that up. I wanted to keep going, but life is life. It's been recently, hence the nice wristband on my hand here. They brought up like, you made him think, because I talked about Thanos thinking death is only in your head, and it gets weird. If you're reading the Thanos comics, it's really weird because now everyone's sort of losing it due to Thane with the Phoenix Force, and only certain people could see death, and now Nebula can freaking see death, and it's like, I am so lost on what this bitch is anymore. And Tick was introduced like that for a couple seconds, like Arthur's completely insane. So he's like losing his mind. He's like, oh God, no one else can see it. It's just me. It's in my head. I know what's going on. Where did my mind go? I'm lost. Who the hell's this? Don't worry about him. He's just in my head. No, I can definitely see him.
Hello.
You're real? Oh, God. All right. I'm not as crazy as I thought I was.
Just going to go to sleep now.
I'm just going to go to bed now.
Oh, God.
We met a long time ago, Arthur. What the hell is wrong with you? Why were you talking to me through a nightlight? How old are you?
What are you?
You poor broken man.
That's actually the mighty question, Kyle. What are you?
Mark?
This is the perfect time to bring back the Comic Clown's fabled character introductions. And we decided to start off with Mark once again.
Okay, so
Oh, no, Chris did it the first time. My bad,
was-
it's fun. But we're
It's
gonna
Mark's story time. Go.
Mark's story time. Okay,
Mark's story
so-
time. Don't make it like
Put
the
me to
dwarves.
sleep.
don't put him to sleep. Okay, so the Tick is first started out as a comic book in 1988. And that's when he was first introduced to the world. He started out as a person in a psych ward, still wearing the blue suit though, and he was in a straitjacket. Breaks out because he was bored, and he said that the city calls me, which is a city called the City. So he literally goes to the city.
Which
Excellent.
I was gonna say, which is kind of weird because you say they call it the City, and in this, for some reason, like me and Chris caught this a little while ago, and I told Kyle about it. Is if you watch in the second episode when they're doing the roller derby, their shirts say Gotham City and then something below it,
Okay.
which is like, wait. Batman can actually be involved in this? Right.
Somebody get Batman goggles for the love of God.
And in this, he talks about Destiny calling him versus the city. So go ahead.
Yeah, right, exactly. So based on your show, the new adaptation, I guess they're trying to get a little bit more engrossed with modern stuff that we're used to for DC or Marvel and things like that. But in the comic book, he goes to the city because he could hear it call to him. The city is a beautiful mistress, and she calls me. That's how he would normally talk, like in the show, which is great. He's an enigma. Nobody really knows who the Tick is because he is just known as the Tick. Nobody knows his identity. Nobody knows where he came from. He just showed up out of the blue. Literally.
I get references.
Okay.
Pun.
His superpowers involve, well, his number one superpower is actually nigh invulnerable. Nigh invulnerable, which gives him his super strength, his invincibility, and his ability to actually just jump from building to building with super ease.
Like, he was Superman when they said Superman could leap buildings in a single bound. He is literally what Superman was when he first came out. Like, the very first episode, he could literally just leap buildings.
Yes, but his ability is called nigh invulnerable. Pretty much, he's so naive, things can't harm him.
Why won't you die? I don't want to.
Yeah.
He feels pain, but it doesn't stop him. He gets up from falling off a building. Oh, that hurt. I'm good. I'm fine though.
Right. So I mean, that's just his superpower. That's it. Just his superpower is nigh invulnerable. Gives him his super strength, his ability to leap far, become invulnerable to everything that's thrown at him. It's amazing.
His only weakness seems to be his antennae.
His antennae. Well,
in the show, I mean, in the show.
Yeah.
Oh, in the show. Okay. In the comic books, his antennae they don't really affect him. Nobody can really cut them off because again, everything's like impervious. Except there's one time where a magician actually like removed them off his head, where he actually started getting dizzy. He goes, "Can't function, antennae removed from head." So I guess it comes to the point where he is an enigma, and people like him. He's a very likable character. He gets introduced to Arthur. Sorry, I said Archer. Oop, sorry. Arthur.
That would be a crossover.
Crossover.
So he gets introduced to Arthur. Arthur had just quit his job at the bank, I believe, and he wants to be a superhero. And people call it, it's that stupid bunny suit. Oh, it's not a bunny suit, sir. It's a moth. See, I'm a moth. And my wings are in my backpack, and I get to fly around.
But you have bunny ears.
But you got, right, and everybody mistakes it for a bunny. But he goes and meets Arthur while falling from a very high building, trying to catch himself on a flagpole, and then, falling like 5 feet into the ground and screaming at the top of his lungs, and Arthur going, "Are you okay?" "Yes, I am. It's perfectly fine, young lad." And he's still holding the freaking flagpole. It's like waving back and forth super freaking hard.
All right. So he does have a catchphrase. Chris, if you want to let that one out for us one time. Oh, he doesn't remember.
You don't remember the catchphrase?
Dare you?
Kyle? Spoon! Literally sitting in a freaking diner. He's like, I need a catchphrase. Lifts it, picks up a spoon. Spoon! It's like, that's it. We got it. Gold.
That's
Comic Camp Gold.
but of course, that's more of his battle cry.
Yes, it's like his...
It upgrades.
It upgrades. It upgrades.
To a more utilitarian tool.
And what's that?
Spore!
Yes.
You will feel the justicey stabs of the spork of justice. What the hell are you talking about?
It is campy enough to live with.
And the best part about the Tick is it's a world of superheroes. It's like a Marvel world or a DC world. Actually, more DC world Golden Age, maybe.
Where a majority of the people in this world either have some sort of superpower, but most of them are actually just people in costumes.
Yeah.
In this world. So it's more like Watchmen.
Yeah. It's more like Watchmen. He's just the most off the wall guy in there. They're like,
right, exactly. That's why he's such an interesting character for this world, because everybody else, you got yourself the Cape Chameleon,
Deflator Mouse.
Deflator Mouse.
Wait,
Sea urchin.
Do you think this was their idea to do like a horrible ripoff of like, oh, you got your nigh invulnerable god amongst men. We got our blue man. We got ours too. Meet the Tick, Dr. Manhattan.
Yes. Right.
Dr. Manhattan tries to take him out. I can't do it. He's just so
Who owns
stupid.
the Tick?
I cannot remember. I have to double check.
thought it was Image.
It was.
I don't
God,
know.
it was back in the day. I don't know who owns it now. But,
Yeah, who wrote the comic?
but back in the day, I cannot remember for the life of me.
It wouldn't have been
So-
Image if it was in '88.
No.
Yeah, but in '88 came out. So the Tick is pretty much it's pretty much making fun of every superhero genre out there by just being like he is so super. He's like Superman, but not Superman, and everybody else around him doesn't actually have a great superpower. They're just people in costumes running around on rooftops.
First appearance was the New England Comics Newsletter, 1986.
Oh God,
That's first appearance.
That's first. Wow, dang, that's a long time ago.
Lord. Publisher was New England Comics, created by Ben Edlund.
Okay.
Let's be honest, though. In the Tick, the most competent character was American made.
Was American made. Yes, American made was the only one that actually knew what it took to be a superhero.
In this, it's Empyrean.
Right.
Who was basically Superman to the point where he can make coffee taste like pumpkin spice.
Kyle has now found his new favorite superpower.
It's amazing. It's the most
no,
it's like what the
I
hell is
saw it.
happening here? It's like, oh, this tastes like cancer. Is this pumpkin spice? How did you do that?
oh my
Close
God.
beam.
Children, remember, if you see a glowing green fluid on the floor, it's not going to give you superpowers.
It's
you
probably not.
You probably have cancer. Actually, you both have cancer.
Both had cancer.
Like a PSA, don't touch glowing green goo. I'm like, that's the kind of world we would live in if there were
Oh my
superheroes
God.
nowadays.
But what really got it popular, the show, was not the comic books that didn't get popular. Because they was just so. It was like the underground world of comic books. Like you really had to go look for this comic book to know who the Tick was.
It's like
Yeah.
a mask.
What made it popular was the Fox Kids network with the show The Tick,
The cartoon.
the cartoon series.
Which was awesome.
Which was great with this like famous, opening scene, like opening music. Dot dwee, dot 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 dwee.
Freeform
now.
jazz.
Yeah,
he had the blue costume. He was like abnormally proportioned due to his size. He had the white under eyes
Yes.
all the time in the blue costume. It was perfect. It was a perfect replica of Batman the animated series.
yes.
Yes.
It was and that at that time was great timing, especially in the '90s with
for cartoons?
For cartoons,
Oh, yeah.
perfect
Well,
timing.
Because you had
That's
things like Freakazoid coming out. Like,
Yes.
Just literally throw whatever you can against a wall. If it sticks, we'll put it on the air.
And it was
Because
perfect.
kids are going to eat this up.
The
Perfect
heyday
timing.
of superhero cartoons.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Fox owned it.
anything could be better than Superman's animated show.
Yeah. It was.
This is when Fox owned superhero animation. They had Batman, X-Men,
Yep.
Spider-Man. They had the Tick then.
Superman,
That was Fox. Yeah, that was
was
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah. Name a character or a major franchise.
Justice League Unlimited. They held on to too.
They held on to, but it wasn't done on Fox Kids.
No, it was Fox Kids. They moved that one, but Fox still held it.
But then Fox Kids was going to let go of the Tick show, and then Comedy Central picked it up because of his more adult related humor underneath it, because there was a lot of adult jokes in there.
Just look at American Made. Just look at American Made.
Right?
Just look at her outfit. We'll sit. We'll wait 5 minutes. Come back.
To a really appreciate.
Just pause.
Hit pause on the podcast
pause,
and keep
right?
going.
But it's great that's where the popularity came into. It went from it was so popular. It went from a range of action figures to stuffed animals. Even Taco Bell got its hands on to actually make some off the wall toys for it.
Pretty sure it had a Super Nintendo game too.
And there was a Nintendo game for it. That's
Who
like
was the actor that played him originally? It was like the Joe Swanson voice. I can't remember his name. Off the top of my
Wasn't
head.
it Patrick Warburton?
It's Patrick
Thank you.
Warburton.
Thank you. That was
yeah.
it.
And so that's where it really got popular. Then it kind of started slowly settling down because I guess Comedy Central decided to let it go eventually, and they no longer created the show for the animated series. And at some point, they decided to come out with the Fox live action, The Tick. And again, poorly timing on that part because we weren't really into the whole live action superhero shows. Also, it got like what, 2 seasons?
Yeah, give or take.
Something
give or
like
take
that.
2 seasons. So it was sad that it actually didn't make it as far as it could have. So for it to make a resurgence today is amazing. But you're saying that there's like some little bit different tidbits from the comic books and the live action, right?
There's different changes they made, but it's still like nobody knows where he came from. He's still nigh invulnerable because he just doesn't want to.
Right. He just, he doesn't.
Why won't you die? I don't want to. Well, that's a really good reason.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a reason you got there, Tick.
He has an entire moral code, but can't explain it until it happens. Like he knows how to be a hero. Ask him why.
In the moment that he could actually activate his lifestyle. All right.
It's I don't know. It's really good right now. I recommend people take the time to go watch that. If you don't,
A very quick watch.
Six episodes, half hour each,
about
3 hours.
24 minutes each.
Yeah, 3 hours every day. You'll laugh your ass off.
I'm also really hoping that they bring in some of the villains from the comic books and the animated series to
they
really
got
make
the
it.
Terror. They got Miss Lint. Right
Yeah.
now.
Miss Lin- okay, see that like
you
that's-
got Overkill as an anti-hero
Overkill and
Overkill.
the boat.
with Alan Tudyk as the boat.
I really, I would really love for them to actually bring in Chairface.
What'd you have, Kyle?
They have Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Why isn't Fillion the Tick? Because he talks with Fillion mannerisms.
That would be
Basically
amazing.
sounds like
No,
Fillion.
they need to bring in Nathan Fillion as Captain Hammer.
I would accept that.
That'd be great.
I think
Would
if they
Joss
could-
Whedon allow
if they
that?
could cross this over with that.
Dr. Horrible.
No, Dr. Horrible, but bring over like Alan Tudyk as like because I saw the Gotham City shirts, right?
Yeah.
Bring over like the Alan Tudyk TV show that they had going for a bit there.
No,
What was
NBC
that called?
canceled
No
that
one
hard.
remembers.
Oh my God! You know that reminds me because like the main supervillain in that whole movie was Bad Horse.
Oh
Yeah.
Bad horse.
Bad Horse.
Bad Horse.
It's an
There's-
actual horse.
in the Tick, there's an actual supervillain called Man-Eating Cow.
I'm in. I'm in. Hey.
No, we
hey.
need Dinosaur Dan.
Amazon.
Talk to Whedon.
We're spitting you gold right now.
Come on,
Give us Dinosaur Dan.
We're giving you the license to print money.
Dinosaur Dan.
We're giving you the license to print money. Let's go.
I think when it comes to their villains, from watching the 2 episodes we saw, I think the best quote comes from the Terror that I just
Terror.
absolutely loved. He just looks at Miss Lint. You can't kill people because they make fun of you.
You can't kill people because they call you a stupid name.
You kill them because it's easy and fun.
Fun.
Is that why I'm missing 3 guys from my fire thrower squad?
No,
You
there
don't
was
put
2
your
guys
best
from
man
the
on
flame.
the flamethrower squad.
Flamethrower squad.
They weren't your best men. Of course they weren't. You don't put your best men on the flamethrower squad.
Also, you need to start wearing black. Just he drinks his milkshake after killing his father and murdering the entire superhero squad with
God.
weaponized syphilis.
Yep.
was
I'm blind.
funny.
So it was so.
They're
like,
dead. Just do it.
They're blind. Just shoot him. Don't shoot him though. Just break his hands. This guy is evil, man.
Oh, hi there, little boy. What's that behind your ear?
It's
Nothing. Just like you. All right, we're done. Let's go.
Drinks his ice cream and just and just leaves. It was amazing. Like it was so good.
And how do they end that flashback with everyone just staring at him? You poor broken man. Arthur's like,
wait.
fuck you guys.
You're the boy from that from the picture.
I'm like, oh, this is going to be horrible, isn't it? It's a Time magazine cover, Age of Terror.
It was so good. It's so good. Like if you guys don't like, I don't want to quote the 2 episodes that I've seen so far, so I'm not going to. It's what I do. We got to refix our
Tick reference jar. Needs to be bigger.
yeah. But I
Speaking
mean,
of reference jar now.
so we got old school also comic books that are slowly making resurgences to become TV shows, and that's what's cool right
Yes.
now. Honestly, because obviously everyone wants Firefly back. No one's ever gonna let that die.
It's never
Until Nathan Fillion dies, it's really not going to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
Tudyk
let
could live
Wash
forever,
die.
won't matter.
They let Wash die.
Well,
He was a
do we
leaf on the
need another
wind.
leaf on the wind comments?
They pinned him down.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man, that was a real shot to the heart right there.
At least I wasn't too late.
All right, so
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
and we're done.
Bruce needs to get the chain of command.
Wasn't Shepard?
It's the
Died
chain
too?
that I beat you with.
Jesus.
All right.
Actually died in, Ron Glass died in real life.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
he did
sucks.
die in real life, but he died in Serenity, and then he died in real life. But but what else would you guys like to see? We were talking before. Savage Dragon would be
Savage Dragon would be great.
fun. People don't know it, and I'm not going to sit down and explain it to you because it unfortunately holds no reference right now unless you go and read Image Comics.
Or remember the 1990
Oh
animated series.
go watch the animated series as well. I enjoyed the crap out of it. It was
great.
it was a dude who they called him the Savage Dragon, even though he had like an iguana fin on the top of his head, and he was a freaking like just super strong, super buff like cop.
Chicago cop.
With a Chicago cop with a normal person as a sidekick. So it was awesome to watch.
Great show.
You were talking about
Great
Shadowhawk.
comic book.
Shadowhawk would be an amazing show. Should I reveal anything about the character?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Shadowhawk is Image's Batman in so many levels.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking year one Batman where he doesn't hold back. He's a prosecution attorney for the city, and it's now a world where, if you've seen Spawn, you understand the world we're living in. For
Yeah,
Image.
yeah.
Their villains are just, I'm going to eat a baby. So he's basically like, these people, I go after them with everything I have. And they have rich attorneys that get them off. I can't, this is bull. And then we have muggers who the cops don't even go after because we got dudes who can disappear and make demons show up. That no one's stopping this. So he's just a guy, trains himself for years in the most intricate way possible, just peak physical condition, the most brutal combat tactics, and he makes himself a suit of highly reinforced armor with battle claws, like Wolverine, little miniature Wolverine claws.
Nice.
And he calls himself the Shadowhawk. Why? Well, when he beats you up, he makes sure you can never commit crime again. And I don't mean, oh, he gets you in jail. No, he breaks your spine,
He cripples them.
which
You
makes
know,
him
just like normal Shadowhawks do in real life.
yeah,
Right, yeah.
everyone knows about those. He wants to instill his fear of Shadowhawks in other people. But no, like this guy is just like the most brutal. He's one of the few non-powered people in Image too. And everyone's afraid of him because they can't figure out how this guy does this crap. He like daredevils across buildings with no superpowers. And everyone's like, this guy, what is he?
Touch gives you strength.
But he has no augments either. He's just a dude. He's like, who's the character? Like Kai Lung without the special powers, or Karate Kid. So
He's Owlman from Watchmen.
he's Owlman from Watchmen without being a pussy.
Gotcha. Wow.
Well, the first one wasn't.
The first one was scary.
So he's like Blue Beetle too.
Blue Beetle, Ted Cord.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's like Ted Cord without being compared to
Harvey,
Batman.
not the new one.
Not Hamey.
Not Jaime, right? Yeah.
Without being compared to Batman all the time.
Exactly.
But yeah, this guy's so dangerous that villains actually start targeting him to the point where a random villain just gets the idea in his head, hey, let's give Shadowhawk AIDS.
Okay.
That's what happens, is a villain actually manages to ambush him and just injects him with a needle full of AIDS-tainted blood. And that pretty much becomes a 70-character arc for this guy, of him not knowing he has AIDS, starting to get sick, like he can't run anymore, like he gets nauseous, like what the hell is happening to me? He gets tested, you have AIDS. Son of a bitch! So this dude's still becoming a crime fighter. He's literally unable to function as a normal human would, and he's not stopping. To the point where like he's actually starting to die, and people are like, dude, you gotta get cured or you gotta stop. And he's like, can I travel through time? No. I'm gonna go fuck with a demon. I'm traveling through time.
It seems very Batman.
It was very Batman. He has a whole crossover where he meets almost every major team or character in Image. He even meets Spawn and fights with the, like, I think he helps beat the crap out of Vindicator.
So wait, he goes back in time and cures his own AIDS.
He tries to. It turns out like AIDS is something a lot darker. Like they went to a whole thing.
Oh, Jesus.
Like he meets like Image had their own team, like making fun of the '60s Golden Age superheroes. So like he went back to like before AIDS happened. And he met a guy who's like a super healer, like Osiris, I think was his name. He's like, I can heal you. I can heal everybody. I brought people back from the dead. And he tries to cure Shadowhawk, and all you see is like this shadowy, like, think Karagimi, like just a shadow demon popping out of him. It's like, yeah, dude, you're not healing this. I don't know what the fuck you have. Shadowhawk's like, this is some bullshit.
That's why you go back in time and kill the guy that's ambushing you.
He thought about that, but like they kind of like dropped it because that was during the late '90s with Image, where they had a bunch of amazing storylines, and then the drought happened. Like where everything stopped working. If anyone wants to know, think back to like episode 80, or I'm sorry, issue 80 for Spawn. see where Spawn was going until about issue 80, and then you'll just see where everything just plateaued. Like, what the hell happened? And they just rebooted Spawn using the movie timeline.
Yeah.
So just like in real life, they didn't have enough money to cure AIDS.
Oh God.
He didn't have $200,000.
Is that a South Park reference? I hear
Shots
over there?
fired.
He's not
mean-
Magic Johnson.
He's not
Yeah, it is a South Park reference.
Simpsons, Family Guy, Life,
Yep, gotcha.
any.
Any reference?
Yeah.
The less you think about it, the more you're okay.
Right.
I like how dark that went for like 2 seconds too. It's like we're gonna talk about the Tick. Ha 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 ha! Shadowhawk. Dark.
Damn.
We're
But
gonna.
if we're talking about the Tick, if
Don't
anyone
know
wants to
happiness.
understand why it was so cool for so many people, it's very much in the vein of the original The Mask comic books.
Oh.
Everyone thinks about The Mask. Unless you know about the
Jamie
comics,
Kennedy?
you think, oh God, that's even. We're not talking about darkness, my man. But no, like everyone thinks like the Jim Carrey movie where it's kind of funny. He's a little horny dude, makes people dance and sing. In the comics,
It's
people
dark.
there's murdering. There's just death and chaos.
Yeah.
Cops get their heads smashed by a
Pulls out-
gigantic
Yes,
man creature.
Gatling guns.
because he has the power of Loki.
Yes, and then and the other vein too, like you want the superhero story, it's the original run of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The same
Oh,
black,
God,
the
yeah.
same style,
really
too, black
dark,
and
too.
white.
That was dark.
Yes.
Sucks to be Leonardo.
Sucked to be Donatello in the most recent versions.
Oh God.
I could beat Rocksteady and Bebop. Oh, you poor delusional turtle.
It's okay, I have a cyborg.
Oh.
What's the hammer for, guys?
This is all a joke, right? Oh, that's what they look like underneath the shell. Oh. But he's fine. He's alive.
Good.
They didn't kill him.
Of course, it's for children now.
No.
They did censor a lot of it out.
Oh yeah.
But the original story, like the original story run for the Ninja Turtles, that shit was. Shredder is pretty much more brutal than like the Death Battles version of Shredder.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see the? Did you hear about his origins? How he actually got his name?
No, how did he do it?
They were trying to think of like a name that would work for this villain, and they were just looking around their house like, we don't know what works. And then they just saw a cheese grater. We're
Thankfully,
gonna call him the Shredder.
So via cheese grater. Thanks
Yeah.
for the win, guys.
If you're ever having a hard time thinking about things to name your stuff,
Kaiser
look around your house.
Kaiser Soze that shit.
It honestly doesn't surprise me.
That explains like so many Marvel characters. Just I can just picture Stan Lee and Jack like Kirby just sitting there going, "What do we call this new bad guy for fighting Iron Man?" Titanium guy. What's he like? He just wears a green version of the Iron Man suit.
Gotcha.
And that's comic gold.
But
Is he Russian? You're goddamn right he's Russian. This is the
What's that
50s.
rock thing you're drawing? Oh, that's the thing.
the thing.
It's a thing. We'll
It's a
name him
thing.
after that. What's that? That thing? That's it.
The
Got
thing.
it. We're calling it the thing.
How does anybody come up with any superhero name?
He's bad
Random
and
guesses
he's
out
a
of their ass.
man.
Right?
Yeah.
Batman. All right, good.
Man.
And then we have Robin. My parents called me their little Robin. Oh, your parents hated you.
Oh, they truly, truly did.
Oh my
You know your parents hate you when they
God.
go kill themselves in the middle of a show to get away from you.
Oh.
Live with a rich billionaire. Don't worry, it'll be
done.
worse.
Jesus.
And we're done here.
So,
And Nick's like, I can keep going Darkest Timeline? Yes.
so I mean, it's all safe to agree. Like, it's amazing that underground comics should make better reinsurgence at this point in time, especially when the comic books are actually becoming more popular.
I think they would do a lot better than what they've been doing recently with a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
Like Iron Fist. It's like Iron Fist is mainstream. We should use him and do the Defenders. And then you just did like a horrible like TV show. Like, but if you go back to your roots for 2 seconds and you take like a comic and you just throw caution to the wind and not think about what anybody else is going to think of them and just go, it does gold.
You got to look at it though. It was like the New England comics owned the Tick.
Yeah.
You can't
Say that name. Who is that?
exactly
In 1960 something.
86, but
86, that was it, yeah. There was a 6 in there. Leave me alone.
proud of you. You remembered things from 20 seconds ago. God, you're your father.
Yep.
But these comics, they don't have a following.
No.
Marvel, DC, they're not going to be able to spend the money that they do. So it's a lot easier for them to make these stories, especially when it's an Amazon Prime or a Netflix that are doing it and not being pushed by Marvel and DC and Disney. There's no evil mouse loitering over them.
But that being said, it's.
I feel it's easier to make those things,
Yes.
to make them properly.
Yes, you make them properly. That's the thing. It's like they went back and they're making it successful based on like. Oh God, I don't know if Marvel or DC's ever heard this word before. Source material. It's source material.
I feel Marvel has.
I think you just killed a bunch of
Because-
writers.
Marvel will sprinkle in source material every once in a while just to give people like us that like, oh, Easter egg.
Yeah, source material is an Easter egg.
Source
now.
material now
Source material is
Easter
not
eggs.
an Easter egg. Source material is what the thing's supposed to be about.
Right.
No, it's Easter eggs.
Not-
And this
We're Easter egging it now.
this is where it loops us back to the Death Note conversation. You had source material. I mean, we'll go farther than that if we need to. Let's go back to Dragon Ball Evolution, a movie that did make our list. That was just horrible. That you had source material for.
How do you look at this for like 3 episodes and you get Dragon Ball Evolution?
But
What
look
writer
at the
was like, this
Fantastic
works?
Four.
Oh,
The Fantastic Four
Why?
movies killed Fantastic Four comics.
Oh yes, right now, what is it? They're out in outer space, like attempting, like Ben, or was it
But-
Sue, Richard, and Ben are out there rebuilding a universe right now, while
With their sun god?
Ben and
While Johnny's with Medusa.
no, not anymore.
Well, yeah.
He got dumped.
He did,
Oh,
but
that poor rebound.
No, he was only with her. She was with him. Like, yes, you know what? I could make something great out of you. Wait, I'm not the queen anymore. I'm not held by traditions anymore. Johnny, it's been fun. You know what? Have a good one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Deuces, and goes right back to Black Bolt, who then she promptly sends to prison.
Wow.
It's like, hey, sweetie, how you doing? You're gonna have some fun in prison. Wait, what?
No, it was an accident.
it was an
It
accident.
was an accident to send him to jail.
Well, here's the thing.
Tale as old as time.
You guys have always wondered why, like Maximus the Mad could never
Sure as this
control
can
Black
be.
Bolt. You could never. Their powers resonate with each other. So if Black Bolt says something at Maximus actually can redirect the voice, and Maximus cannot mind control Black Bolt, or he would have a walking WMD on your hand.
Was that in purpose or accidental?
It was on purpose. It
Okay.
was accidental.
were
It
engineered
was.
that way.
It wasn't. They weren't really engineered that way. It just the parents went. This is what happened.
So Black Bolt and Maximus are like Scott and Alex Summers?
Yes.
Yes.
They are brothers, but their parents decided to experiment on them.
Yeah.
So
Oh, have you met Sinister?
yeah. No, they didn't meet Sinister because a plane kind of blew them up. And that was a thing. That was tragic backstory number one.
And then Daddy
So-
went to space.
No, they're all dead. Those two are dead. And then what happened was the parents told Maximus that he had the ability to you got your power resonance. You cannot. Only way you'll ever be able to control your brother, which is just a weird conversation to have. Is like if your brother is ever emotionally compromised. So he ends up telling him, like, yeah, you killed them with your inability to control your own power, you worthless piece of crap. And then Black Bolt was compromised and goes, and I'm in. And gets control of Black Bolt's mind, says, take off your uniform, put mine on. We look pretty much alike. I'll put your uniform on. Have a nice day. And literally, Medusa went, send Maximus the Mad off into this prison that we turn our back on you. We will not go find you. We don't even know where this prison is. And that's a problem. And
We should
a little
fix
bit,
that,
little
but
bit.
we're not.
no, that was the Inhumans theory. They were like, we turn your back on you. You can no longer come to us. We will not go seek you out. And that's what their punishment for Maximus the Mad was. Well,
Excommunication to the farthest level.
yeah, except for like John Wick excommunication where they kill you. This one is just like, we're just going to throw you away. And she accidentally, because they was like, I can understand like doing psychic dampeners on Maximus the Mad, but why are we knocking him unconscious this whole time? They didn't really understand why they couldn't allow him to be awake for it. Psychic dampeners will stop his power, but now you're unconscious. You can't really talk now, can you, Black Bolt?
Jesus.
So
Just
pretty much,
mutters in his sleep and everyone's out.
and no, he doesn't murder anyone. He goes with them into outer space and like pretty much gives up his ploy. It's like, we've sent my husband to a frickin' into a prison that we don't know where it's at.
Are we gonna have a Planet Black Bolt story?
Nope, Lockjaw just came in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind then. There goes your.
Black
new issue's out.
Deus Ex Machina happened in form of giant 600-pound bulldog.
Jesus.
Loyal teleporting little bastard.
Yes, we gotta hope he gets back Absorbing Man though. I don't know if that happened yet. I gotta read and see what happens. But it's amazing. It's great because Black Bolt. You get to hear like Absorbing Man's like horrible story on how like
Trying
Thor
to get
turned
you
him
to
in.
care about him.
Yeah, like Thor tricked him and turned him into helium.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, Thor.
Yeah. He's like, so he floated into outer space. And he's like, I finally made my way back, and the only reason he was stealing money is so he could be with Thundra the whole time.
Thundra.
And that was Thundra or someone else. I can't remember her name.
I don't remember.
It's in the comic book behind me, but like he was trying to like they went on their own brutal like rampaging spree
It was a
together
buddy
because they
cop
loved
movie.
each other.
Little Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh yeah, it was just them sitting there talking. He's like, "Have you ever cooked for yourself? I have a giant 600-pound teleporting dog. You know what? I'm just gonna move on with this conversation because there's no relating with you."
I was king of an entire species on the moon.
He's like, "Have you ever drove a car before? Giant teleporting dog. All right, and I keep forgetting." Have a nice day there, Pitchfork or Wishbone. Calls him Wishbone because of the pitching fork on his head. Calls him
Jeez,
Wishbone all the
that's
time.
funny.
But like that's source material, and now we have whatever the hell's in IMAX.
That was a one-off, thank God.
No. They put 2 episodes in IMAX, and now they have the show that's going to air on
September
ABC.
Okay. I have heard interesting things about that.
No, you haven't.
One person said it's a fun watch. You should not pay to watch this in IMAX.
No.
They
No.
buzzed Medusa's head.
They couldn't afford the CGI for her hair. So their answer is we're going to shave her bald.
Yeah.
If you know nothing about Medusa, she has extendable titanium strength hair. That's why her name's Medusa.
Did they use adamantium clippers? Oh, I triggered somebody today.
Jesus, they screwed that up hard.
Surprisingly, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, no one's answered this question though. Is this or is this not like actually tied in with the Guardian or Agents of Shield?
Yes, it is.
it is.
Because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have brought in, well, Daisy, whatever Sky, whatever you want to call her.
I just want
isn't
her
a-
Quake and get over with.
Well, yeah, that's what they're leading to, but she's an
Yeah.
Inhuman.
Yeah.
She got affected by the Terrigen Mists.
Yeah.
It's what happened.
Yes.
No, I was just looking at the time. I didn't realize what time it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine with the conversation keeping going. I was just looking at the time going,
But, so, yes, it
Huh.
is. They're going to somehow link those shows together. I just wish they would have kept it a movie so they had the budget for this.
because here's the thing, like Black Bolt, for those who don't know anything about him, like this is like 3 character introductions, is a beast. Like the dude is like he put into his mom's stomach, and his mom's power was the ability to transfer gases through her body and direct it to any point she wants.
She could filter.
She filters everything. So pretty much she was pregnant with Black Bolt and went, here's all the ounces of Terrigen Mist we can into you while you're in the womb. Black Bolt nearly killed a lot of people crying. Okay?
Because of
Because of his power. Then they went with Maximus and went, hey, we're going to do the same process again, but this time
We know
focus
what
it
to
all
filter out.
towards the brain. Get away from the brawn, the strength. Because they got this power early, Black Bolt can lift a car, can like take blows from Thanos, can go one-on-one with the Hulk for a bit. Like obviously it's just the Hulk though. So
of course.
it's just the Hulk.
I heard you yell. I want to hear you scream.
Oh yeah, that was insane. But like it's like literally like you have all these powers from Black Bolt, and he got like punched by a gun or by a gun hit, and he
Pistol
went
whip?
A human.
by a human.
By a cop.
Are you kidding me?
And he exhaled, made that grunt.
Yeah.
There should have been no grunt. It should have been,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
And
Bitch,
we're
how
done.
dare you?
Like they don't even talk. Just and it looks like he wants to talk the whole time too. His jaw is like 3 inches off the side of his lip.
You said he got pistol whipped?
Yeah,
Yeah, he
more
got
or
like
less.
pistol whipped.
Have you dealt?
Wouldn't that gun bend?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's another question.
Well, unless they
huh?
went like that, like I couldn't see the scene, like because he went sideways and he exhaled and blew away
It was
a
a
car.
handgun, so
Oh, I could.
I was gonna say, if it was a handgun and he pistol whipped Black Bolt, wouldn't that gun?
or if it would slide off. It was one of the two,
Like,
depending
what-
how weak the person
What
is.
is his hand like going? Oh my God!
But Black
why?
Bolt didn't move, and like okay, Black Bolt like threw his head sideways, was still conscious, exhaled, grunted, and blew away a car. I'm like, what are you doing? Like you were neutering a guy that should be like he's running through an alleyway. Homie can fly.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Lockjaw looks great.
Lockjaw. That's it. Like that's it. The most adorable puppy in like comic history, and that's it. Like, that's all we get. We get an entire like. It's like you always see those dogs like the pit bulls. Yeah, all excited. That is a 600-pound bulldog that teleports. That's excited. That the question still stands that they did dispel that rumor is that Lockjaw is not an Inhuman. He was just a dog that grew up with that was the Kree's like one animal they decided was Lockjaw, and they experimented on it. It wasn't a person that got turned to that after the metamorphosis.
No, it was just
Because that would be so much worse.
It would.
just a bulldog.
It's like
affected by the
Goofy
Terrigen
walking
Mists.
Pluto, right?
yeah.
Oh God!
Yeah.
It's but they did that, and then you know, they both have like almost same mutation. Lockjaw has like a pitchfork on his head too, effectively, but that helps him like open up portals. And that was his dog since he was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, it's an adorable little. I don't want that dog. The dog's amazing. Like it's so cool to have a teleporting dog, and like everyone just walks him because you know.
Are you gonna
the
say
king
no?
tells you to?
Yeah.
But
Do you not want to walk the 600-pound teleporting dog?
it's just where's the dog gonna go? Just, like, wherever the hell it wants to.
That's like,
that's why-
we're in Tibet.
It's an adventure.
That's why you walk the
That's
dog.
right. Where are we walking to today? Russia it is.
Did not wear a coat.
Not Atlantis. Not Atlantis.
Not Atlantis, not Atlantis, not Atlantis.
Hi, Namor.
And
hey,
I'm
Namor.
dead.
Hey, Namor, how you doing, buddy?
Good to see
Get
you.
out of my property.
But like back off that one, off the Inhumans, because that's going to be another like shit show. Can you not fall off furniture today?
I try so
We're gonna
hard.
we'll back onto that one later. Like we'll talk about it when we can. Like when we get a chance to watch it, when we don't have to go
Please
to IMAX to
no.
watch it.
I feel like this is going to be part of the Flareoverse that because I don't want to watch this episodically and I'm not going to watch it on Hulu.
No, I'm gonna watch the 2 IMAX things and that's it.
All right. Well,
Wow, that was a sad little resignment. Like, oh.
Nope, we're watching it, Cal.
all right.
I got I got enough booze
is
on a
there-
freaking lazy Susan over there to say we're watching it.
I mean,
I
does
don't feel
anybody
you do.
does anybody else like have any off under radar comics that people just like? And what I mean by like going like under radar, you had to go to like the dirtiest back alley comic book shop just to find something.
Oh, wow.
I mean, not really. Like the
Not
closest,
for a long
the
time.
closest I got to that is definitely just Wildcats.
Wildcats, okay,
Like, and that's just Images Avengers,
right.
ran by a cyborg,
Backlash.
and
was
like
a,
a
good one.
really like I have #1 over here actually.
Okay.
It's in my collection, and it's like half naked, like weird cyber computer woman.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool. But the cool part about it is that when the image or DC bought Grifter from that.
Right.
So if you go watch Flashpoint, you see Grifter in it, and that's where he came from.
And
like,
no, and just remember in the 1990s they actually did come out with an animated series for it,
That's
and they
where I
had
remember
they
from.
had a crap ton of action figures for it as well.
yeah,
Image
it
did a
was
good job selling their stuff. It's just they didn't keep momentum.
Right.
They have their like Image did
But-
like their own universe. They had their version of the Suicide Squad where they would die every mission in the
Yeah.
most brutal way. They had their version of Superman called Supreme, who was just a crotchety, pissed off old guy.
But comics didn't keep their momentum.
The comics didn't keep
The comics didn't
That's
keep
what
their
we're
Image
saying,
took
like-
a hard hit because of that, because they
Yeah.
were just really
'Cause,
comics.
like we're talking, I guess most of these are just like a bunch of them are Image, but it's just amazing that a lot of these are just coming out with a resurgence. You know, especially from the Tick era.
Yeah, that's the thing too.
So-
We wouldn't be able to do what we're doing now. Like if you told someone 15 years ago, hey, you should go read the Tick comic. Do you know how much of a pain in the ass it'd be for them to even try and locate that? Like even if you had eBay, you wouldn't find it on any message boards. No one would
No.
upload that crap. Like if you found it at a comic shop, that would be in the back where he has like all the one-off things that people sold him for like crack money.
Those are probably all used as wrapping paper by now.
Yeah,
Yep.
Grandma's like, oh, I found some old funnies. Oh, sweet God, why did you do this?
Yeah. Like I said,
Like the Ames Family comics.
oh my
Oh
god.
god, yeah.
But this is what's great about like the things that we talk about, because we know exactly what these are because we actually took the time to read it, to understand it, to enjoy it, and it was amazing. I'm just glad that Tick somehow survived all of that because not invulnerable, can't die
Until he wants to.
until he wants to.
It's
but
something about the Tick. Like
It
it
is.
goes away for years, comes back just as strong. Everyone loves the Tick.
everyone loves the Tick.
We just don't remember him.
just I guess it was just a beautiful combination of things that
It's
somehow people love.
Dry humor mixed with superheroes.
Yeah.
It is, and it's not even like it takes a good sense of humor to get what he's doing.
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to call it for that one for the day. We touched literally everywhere on the spectrum, going from the Tick to Shadowhawk to Inhumans, so like really unknown, somewhat unknown, to even on a mainstream stage unknown. Type.
We literally
It's-
bounced DC,
and-
Marvel,
and we're talking about, like,
unknown, Image.
Yeah, and I wanted to, like I said, just bring up like source material. They never fill it, and I don't think they touch on it enough, and that's what kills a lot of stuff. And I guess for that one, we'll just cut it here. We'll be back with a RamenCon review next week, just telling you how our panel went, things like that. Other than that, this is Bruce War Chief Hoover.
Mark the Dwarf Kokiachuk.
Christian Forster Vasquez.
Kyle Death Cooch Cookenbecker.
And Nick the Minuteman Clark.
And as always, Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Spoon, tell it from the mountain.